Welcome.
Welcome to Switching Reels.
I was going to say that.
Hi, Connor.
Hi, Trenton.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Welcome to Switching Reels.
Oh, wow. All right.
I'm doing pretty well as well.
All right.
It's been a week. My AC went out, so it's a little hot in this room.
Yep.
C'est la vie.
Also, we do not have our Princess Tokenokes.
Oh, yes. We don't have any of our Princess Tokenokes. I will be printing the tokens for Princess Mononoke, which is what we watched today.
Yeah.
By the next visit, as well as a Howl's Moving Castle. So we'll be able to rate the two best Miyazaki movies of all time. Ooh, he's putting Spirited Away down top of A instead.
Yep. And that's only because I know what's coming next for the next few weeks. And I need some room.
Need room for Ponyo and Princess Mononoke.
Actually, not Ponyo.
Oh.
Ponyo's probably going to knock Castle in the Sky out of A.
Yeah, it's probably going to knock it out of A.
But doesn't quite make S. No, Princess Mononoke definitely makes S tier, though.
Nice.
So, yeah, I don't know. This is undoubtedly my favorite Miyazaki film that we've watched so far.
Woo!
I have a few nitpicks with it, but nothing major. And it goes somewhere in the middle or top of S for me.
Very cool. That's fantastic. For me, it's not an F tier movie. It is not worse than Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. Better than Porco Rosso. Better than Castle in the Sky. I'm trying to figure out if it's better than My Neighbor Totoro or not, actually, in my soul. I think the answer is it is. So I think it's going to be the highest rating one that I've done so far as well.
Okay. That's definitely going to be upset next week.
Yeah, very much so.
Also, this one is actually on the list.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Yay! What number?
Number 82.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
We'll get there in a couple years. Maybe.
Absolutely. Absolutely, maybe.
Absolutely, maybe. That's fantastic. Good. Well, it makes me happy.
But yeah, for me, this one is a technical 10.
Mm-hmm.
And a enjoyment of 9.
Nice.
And honestly,
very solid.
Honestly, the only reason that there are any points knocked off of enjoyment is this movie is miserable for a really long time, and then the happy ending is a little bit too little too late.
Yeah, it's real rushed.
Yeah. So
real rushed.
But yeah, I mean, I still think it's an incredible film, and
Absolutely.
It's one that anybody who loves like epic fantasy at all, like,
absolutely,
this is a must see.
Right up your alley.
I will say, if there is a single movie on this list that I say do not show this to your children until they are older,
it's this one.
It is the one that is filled with blood and viscera.
Yeah, and just like very easy decapitations and like dismemberment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a film for the easily disturbed when it comes to violence.
Absolutely. This has
especially violent imagery.
Yeah. I'm gonna love talking about like the nonchalance of violence in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's a good discussion point. So for me, I think I'd put this one at a technical 9 and an enjoyment of probably a strong 8 to a light 9, to use your nomenclature.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like I get confused in this movie about some of the magic portions and why they happen the way that they happen. This is very much one of the Miyazaki movies, though, where it does give you enough information. It's just, it's not satisfying to me. And so that, and then the slightly strange pacing near the end is what brings me down to technical. And in enjoyment, I'm like, it is a good movie. It has some really cool themes and topics and stuff, but it's like, it just hits you hard a lot and often.
Yeah, this is one of the ones where I watch it and I'm like, I feel both validated and attacked for being human.
Mm-hmm.
And I really don't know what to do with that feeling.
About that,
Like,
yeah.
I can deal with being attacked for being human, and I can deal with being validated for being human.
But
both
both at the same time, like that's a difficult pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely agree.
I think to talk about this much more, we're gonna have to go over the spoiler wall.
Let's get out the ladders.
So yeah, that always throws me off.
How are we gonna climb a wall?
You don't have to climb the wall.
I didn't put in a gate.
I did.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, if you did, that's nice. I'll use the ladder. You use the gate.
I got a nice little moat going too.
Yeah. Oh, see, so the ladder's even harder. I'm gonna need a big ladder, like one of them real big siege engine ladders.
Ladder.
I hardly know her. All right, cool. Please like, comment, subscribe. You'll be noticing that we have a new introduction animation.
Yeah.
Same person that did our theme song did our animation. So thanks, Mr.Sandman. Yeah. Fantastic job on both of them. If you like them, let us know. If you don't like them, let us know. And please let us know. Just talk to me, please.
If you don't like them, we will ignore you. Because
I won't, unfortunately. But Connor will. So if you don't want that, I don't know actually where I was going there.
Yeah.
We're over the wall.
All right, cool. I want to start with a summary.
Let's do it.
All right. A tarnished leaves his place of residence.
Maidenless behavior.
To go off, kill a god, and become Elden Lord. He rides a steed that is a cross between an elk and a deer. And he meets a maiden that shows him the way to do everything that he is planning on doing and makes it possible.
Nice. Cool. So we're just watching Elden Ring.
Oh wait, this is
Princess Mononoke.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about it.
So this is the other Miyazaki. Yeah, I don't have a summary then.
got swiped. And this one was very much before Elden Ring. Like, it's just so true. Like, anytime you see the forest spirit there at the end, you're like, oh, hi, Elden Beast. Like,
yeah.
That's what we're fighting now. Like, that is the story.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're completely correct, I think. So my summary is we follow a man who was inadvertently a victim of industrialization and capitalism. This is brought about by the fear and hatred put into little iron balls that are shot into animals, which then become demons. The industry, this is necessary for the industry because we need to make sure that women have suffrage and that lepers are able to get the treatment that they need. That's the reason that we're doing so much industry right now. So we go and figure out about the industry. Wolves hate industry, just as a rule. So the industry town that this guy finds is besieged by 2 wolves at all times. Kind of hard to kill wolves. Oh, but there's a woman wolf, but she's a woman and a wolf. She's the princess of the wolves. There are only a total of 3 wolves, 4 if you count the woman. And so, woman tries to kill, or the wolf woman tries to kill industry woman. Neither of that works. A guy gets shot, gets healed by a giant magic creature, who then proceeds to get his head blown off, and then reattached at the end. And then they go their separate ways, even though they love each other.
I hope that anyone who has passed the spoiler wall has actually seen this film, because
you have no idea what.
Both of our summaries are,
as always, exceptionally accurate and very easy to parse.
I mean, I would say that the very short summary of this is we watch a guy go off and be an ambassador between a forest faction and an industrial faction. both of which have a lot of very good things
Going for 'em.
going for them.
Yeah.
There is sort of a uh, inherent beauty and almost rightness that we feel with the nature side.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we have a lot of very concrete, like, good things happening on the industrial side.
Yeah.
So, like, looking at it, it actually is kind of difficult to make the argument for the nature side
Yeah,
specifically.
absolutely.
Because, like, the wolves are very isolationist,
Mhm.
and they are not willing to live at peace with anyone else.
Yeah.
Um,
All of nature isn't.
right, yeah. Yeah, the nature side is very, very hostile. Um, the industrial side is careless.
Yeah, it's unforgiving.
It's, yeah. And I wouldn't say it's unforgiving, and I think that's the key to what makes it a reasonable side
That makes sense.
to
Yeah.
go with.
That's
Like,
a good point.
this is a town full of people that have been given opportunities outside of brothel work and being outcast by society because of their
Mhm.
leprosy. Like, I don't really. It is hard to say that Irontown is not doing good things for the people in Irontown.
That's true. That's a very good point.
And that people within do not care about the other people there.
Yeah.
It is relatively careless about the way that it interacts with the forest and nature as a whole. I think the only person that we can all agree is bad is Jago. Is that his name?
The guy that wanted.
Monk.
Yeah, the monk. Yeah. You're like, oh, this guy's not bad. Like, too bad. He's like a little sus. And then he's like,
well, no, he's just very friendly.
He's very friendly.
He's very friendly. He just also happens to have all of the worst motives.
And also a really pessimistic outlook on life in general, which was very interesting. I feel like this movie for Miyazaki is a pretty poignant shift from the very black and white, like, war and industry bad and nature and, like, conservation good. Yeah. Like, you see that pretty strongly in Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind, a little bit in My Neighbor Totoro, some in...
I wouldn't necessarily say that My Neighbor Totoro has a whole lot of, like, industry bad kind of things, and even the nature good stuff is more like nature as a wonder, a source of wonder.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would agree with, like, Castle in the Valley
of the Sky.
Castle in the Sky and Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind, both definitely kind of take that stance.
Yeah. And there's a little bit of pro nature and question marks on industry in Spirited Away as well, where you have this very high industry focused bathhouse that is exploiting people generally sometimes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, I think some of this is also looking at it through a modern lens.
True.
Because, like, you think about when these were made, the conversations about exploited labor and all that kind of stuff they were still happening, but they were much less prominent.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that, like, with this, we see more of the issues with nature's interaction with, or industry's interaction with nature, less than we see anything about, like, exploited workers, even in Spirited Away.
Yeah, no, those are really, really good points. And yeah, no, I liked the very nuanced perspective it feels like that this story tries to come and get across. I also liked the, like, parallel between as soon as Ahito, this was in this a guy, our boy.
Oh, Ashitaka.
Ashitaka. Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, Ashitaka, as soon as he gets cursed, just becomes so much stronger. It's like the rage and anger of nature gives him strength, but only him. Like he is able to use this strength at the cost of this infection spreading within him, and also it is singularly powerful. It empowers individuals. It doesn't empower a community like industry does or like nature does.
Yeah.
It's a like corruption of something that should have been good, which is very
Right.
interesting.
And I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think every time that he uses it, um, it is in service to himself. Um, and it doesn't work when he's trying to use it for someone else. I mean,
Yeah.
the closest we see to it working for someone else is when Torrent when Torrent gets shot with the arrow.
Yeah.
And
He's saving him.
he's killing all of the guys that are attacking him and his steed. Um, but like when he's trying to lift the boar off of the wolf,
Doesn't work.
It doesn't work because he is not strong enough with just his rage and his hatred.
What about when he opens the gate?
I considered that, but honestly, he wanted to leave more than I think he was saving the princess at that point.
Yeah, he also had a bullet wound, so I think you're right. Like, the guy was in real rough shape for sure.
Well, and also like you think about like why he was saving her. It was not for her sake. It was because he wanted her to lead him to the forest spirit.
Forest spirit. That's a good point. That is actually his goal the entire time. They
Yeah.
do a good job of verbally reminding you, but he generally is so selfless that you kind of forget that that's what his goal was this whole time.
Yeah, that's true.
Every time he mentions it, you're like, oh yeah,
oh,
that's
is
the
why
main
you're doing
storyline. I see. Which is, I think, very cool as well.
Yeah. Well, and it's only really his thing for like the first quarter of the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I guess half.
About half. Yeah, first half of the movie, he's like really dedicated in trying to find it.
Yeah.
Then he gets healed by the forest spirit, and he's like, "Oh,
didn't work.
Didn't work.
All right. Well, I guess I'm kind of
ambassador now. Sounds fun."
So, but yeah, I mean, if there is one thing that I have a problem with as far as themes in this is that it feels a little scattered.
Yeah.
But also,
what do you want us to focus on, my guy?
Also, it feels scattered in a way that I don't feel like anything is not explored.
Yeah.
To its full potential, with the exception of maybe the hatred magic.
Yeah.
But some of that is probably my desire for hard magic systems and that kind of stuff.
Exactly. Like the infection really only does that to him, and I wonder if it does that to him because he's acting in violence when he gets this in contact with the anger.
Yeah.
Demon worms.
Yeah, I mean,
also though the visualization of like this anger and fury being worms, like it's worming its way out of you, was very cool.
Yeah, and it's inconsistent. So sometimes it just like spreads as like a giant red rash, but like the first time that it happens and it's like you could see the worms like crawling underneath his clothing.
Yeah.
That visual is just so great.
It's so good. And that it was all hand drawn. Like it is just such a fantastic, like it looked, and obviously it's animated. It looked like computer generated animated. Like it looks very good when that happens.
I see that as less of a compliment than you probably do.
I know. It looked really good in my opinion.
I thought it looked great as well.
Also, the way that they do hair is always fantastic. Like hair is so expressive, specifically in this movie, but in a lot of Miyazaki movies.
Yeah.
But like manes and hair and things like that in this are just like part of the choreography and part of the expression of emotion, and it's just so pretty.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Oh. Man, I really don't know where to go with this.
No, totally.
Like, there is a lot that I love about this movie, but I can't put my finger on anything.
No, totally.
I feel kind of like back when we did Shawshank, and
it's just
I was like,
this is good.
Everything about this is great. And I can't find any one thing to drill into.
No. I've already touched on themes, which I think this one does okayly.
Yeah.
And like there's a lot of feeling in this one. Like, I was gonna go and talk about like the amount of violence in this. Like, it's just a way of life is crazy. Like, the amount of death in this movie that you don't really register, mostly because it isn't necessarily always human death.
Yeah.
It's just there's just so much. Like, you wipe out an entire tribe of pigs.
Yeah, and there are times when it will like focus you in on it for a while, and like it feels kind of like a hammer. It just hits you, and then it hits you again, and then it hits you again.
Yeah.
But especially with the last march of the pigs, for lack of a better term.
Poor guys.
Like every time we see something there, it's just, it hurts a little bit more. I did want to talk about Lady Eboshi.
Yeah, let's go Lady Eboshi, industry woman.
Yes. I feel like a pretty clear picture is painted of her up until that fight.
Yeah, like her character kind of pivots really hard.
Yeah.
Starting at the pigs.
Yeah, and I don't really understand that entirely. And I feel like this movie is the perfect length that it needs to be, if maybe a little too long.
Yeah.
But does Giacomo, whatever his name is,
I can't remember it either.
Like, I feel like he has something on her. It's not just that she owes him.
Yeah, I feel like there has to be something like that, because like her shift is 180. She was like, hey, my plan is kind of just a siege. We're going to attrition the forest into succumbing to our whims.
Yeah.
Get what we want, and then we'll be happy and good.
And yes, we will kill the forest spirit, but we'll get around to it.
Exactly. It's not the goal.
Right.
And then you got Mr. Monk guy come in, and he's like, nah, that's the goal now. Because I gave you musket men.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it.
That's the only reason.
And then, like, I don't know if this is actually the way it's set up, but the way it looks is that she stood by while the other monk faction just killed a whole bunch of her men.
Absolutely. Which, like, you get the sense that she is a misandrist. Like, she doesn't like men.
Yeah. But I feel like she cares
viscerally. Yeah.
I feel like she cares enough about the men in the city.
Yeah.
That she wouldn't
have just been like,
yeah,
guys, you go and die.
Like, at the very least, she's like, these are the husbands of the
women that I have fostered.
Right.
Yeah.
So
no, it's a really, really jarring shift.
Yeah.
Kind of, because you go from her, again, being relatively even-tempered. Hey, she is very focused on industry.
Yeah.
To she's the one that kills the forest spirit.
Yeah, and again, I don't necessarily have a problem with that.
No, totally. But
the fact that she does it while her men are still recovering from battle, and
with the knowledge that her town is besieged.
Right, yeah. And that's the part where I go, I feel like this is not the character we've had set up.
Yeah.
So, and again, this is only after, like, the fourth watch for me that I've actually, like, registered that.
Yeah, I really looked at it.
But, yeah. up until that point, I feel like the argument that Irontown and the Forest are just two things that we both want to see both succeed,
Exactly.
and we want the leaders in these places to succeed.
Yes.
They just have incompatible goals.
Yes.
No, we care about Irontown, but we do not care about Lady Eboshi.
Yeah.
And we still care about... They always said her name so quietly.
It's San.
No, not San.
Oh.
The wolf mother.
Aiko? Aika?
I thought it started with an M.
It's an A.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure.
I know that
I'm not consistent in naming, though, so I wouldn't take my word for it.
I know that the old boar was Okatu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it feels like the wolf mom's name should have more syllables than it does.
Yeah, it's only like one.
Ido. It's Aito or I-O. I don't know.
Oh boy.
But Wolf Mom.
Yeah, Wolf Mom.
What about her?
Oh, we want to see her succeed.
Yeah, we do. We very much want her to succeed because she's
a little overprotective.
Yeah, but she's
San, but
fairly even-tempered when talking with the pigs.
Right. Yeah. Like you see her as somebody that can be reasoned with.
Yes.
And like that kind of thing. Anyway. Also, I like Okatu. I think that he is a much needed addition in the section that he comes in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's fantastic.
Especially as being sort of like this symbol of like the strong instinct side of nature. Like you can tell that he is wise and intelligent, but as
unyielding.
Unyielding. But as things are happening, like he's unyielding because his instincts tell him, I have to do this.
Exactly.
And then it reaches the point where he cannot do anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the demon takes over.
Yep. It's just so sad. Yeah. That section where they're like, just like everyone, like the monk faction is bad humans.
Yeah.
You know, you have like generally good nature, dumb nature, good humans, bad humans is the factions in this movie.
Yeah.
With good humans generally being Irontown for the most part, bad humans being the monks. Like they just skin these hogs and then just wear their like clothes so that you scurry on the ground like little rats. Like do not like. Very creepy.
That is one of my favorite tropes. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, it's very creepy. They're just so weird.
Humans hiding in corpses of animals. Just I don't know why that shows up in the story, and I'm like, yeah,
let's go. So metal. That's fantastic. I'm glad. It makes me so sad. He loved all of these people so much.
Yeah. He did. But that visual, man, is so cool.
No, it is. It is in
as long as you don't think about how the humans have to be moving around to do that.
Yeah. What are
because that's way too fluid.
It's way too fluid. There's none of the like hippity hoppity weirdness that you do whenever you're with your friends and you make a giant caterpillar of people underneath a blanket and you go. It's all weird. You never did that?
No, I didn't.
Never got 4 or 5 friends, put them under your sheet, and you just walked around?
No.
And filmed yourself doing it?
What?
You gotta live, Connor.
Why are you acting like this is a normal human experience? Like this is
a normal human experience, Connor.
This is like, oh, you haven't had a s'more.
Because it is, Connor.
No, it's not. This is not like a key part of the American childhood.
It's a key part of the homeschool American childhood.
Fair enough. I was not homeschooled.
Oh, no.
I really don't know what to do with this line of thinking.
Yeah, that's reasonable, actually.
But yeah, more humans hiding inside of animals, please.
And if so, put a trigger warning on it for me. Don't want it.
I've got a book series for you at some point.
It sounds like you don't have a book series for me at some point.
I actually do, and I think you'll enjoy it. I just don't want to say it right now because then it'll spoil a later part of one of the books. So,
all right. Sounds good. All right. So let's see.
I'll recommend it to you when you're least expecting it.
Thankfully, if you do actually, you should do it when like I'm averagely expecting it. Because if you do it if I least expect it, I'll tie it back to this conversation.
Oh, okay.
So
it's the Chronicles of Narnia.
Oh no, I'm gonna get thrown off. I've read all of the Chronicles of Narnia and I don't remember this.
It's Ender's Game, actually.
It's Ender's Game? Yeah, where they just... I also read Ender's Game. That's, like, really disconcerting, because the entire, like, premise of it was, like, there's just this, like, one entity versus the humans, and the humans wearing the entity wouldn't even do anything.
You haven't read the sequels, have you?
No, I haven't done any of the Speaker of the Dead or anything.
Oh, that's cool.
I've heard it's good.
Yeah, they are good.
So
I read the first 3.
Nice.
And then I heard that they dropped off pretty significantly in 4 and 5. That's not what we're talking about, though.
We always do that here.
Yeah.
We're not having a problem.
Sorry, guys. We're talking about books again.
Yeah. So I think we've pretty well covered characters, pretty well covered theme. Setting is gorgeous as always. You can't go into a Miyazaki and be like...
Yeah.
The audio design, though, makes me a little mad because the soundtrack was fantastic, but I have to go and like flip between, okay, I'm at like 60 on my television for the normal, then I have to go to like 80 whenever they're talking because they're talking like this.
Yeah, I have a solution to that.
What?
And that's just turn it up.
I know, but I did. But no other movie from Miyazaki have I had to do this yet. I like putting my remote away. Don't think about the outside world.
Me too.
Just watch it.
Me too.
I don't want to get my ears blown out at 80 when we're watching a very pretty scene. Whenever the mines go off, I don't want to actually experience mines going off.
Why not?
Because it hurts, Connor.
No. The mines can't reach you through the TV. I was watching an old Onion video where they were talking about The Evil Within, and they had a review.
It's The Evil Within.
The Evil Within was a horror game that came out a few years ago.
Oh, cool.
But they had a review from like this cranky middle-aged dude who was like, you know, it's scary if you've never actually experienced real fear. Like, yeah, you can look at some monsters that are safely behind a screen.
That's so funny.
At no point did I think that the monsters were going to come out of the screen and kill me in real life. If there was something that made me think that my daughter's college fund was being drained out of her bank account, that that would have been something that would have really scared me, because that's what I fear in real life. It's like...
Nice. Yeah. I like that. That's beautiful.
So, Trenton, as someone who's never felt real fear of mines, don't worry. They're in the screen.
They're in the screen? Good.
Yeah.
They don't just come out.
No.
I'm not just going to step on them in the middle of the night. My cats won't just, like,
you might step on one of your cats in the middle of the night, in which case...
they'll explode.
I don't know, but I feel like it's going to be painful for you one way or the other.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Also, they won't even step on the mines. I've been trying to teach them buttons for a
That's
half
true.
year to a half year. And you still won't press the button.
It's been more than that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I just like to think that it's a year to a half a year.
So, yeah.
Princess Mononoke.
Princess Mononoke. It goes.
I wonder what
here.
like Mononoke means, because you only hear them say Princess Mononoke like once, and then it's San the rest of the time, or the princess.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm curious if Mononoke is either like a title or
Last name of the wolves.
Yeah, and knowing the way that some of these things happen, it would not surprise me if it was Wolf.
Oh, that would be
a translation of Wolf.
Yeah, Princess Wolf.
Yeah.
Also, one last thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how in Hero's Journey there's like a call to adventure?
Mm-hmm.
That's for wimps and for just people that don't really want to go on adventures.
Exiled.
Exactly.
Exiled to adventure.
What you really should do is skip the whole call. Be like, lol, you are cursed and corrupted. You're exiled. Better go on this adventure if you want to.
Yeah. I feel like the call to adventure was when the lady was like, hey,
do you want to know?
You have to go, get this healed. Go do it.
Yeah, he didn't have much of a choice on that one, though.
Yeah,
again, kind of exiled to adventure.
I mean, yeah. There is argument to how much of a call to adventure actually is.
Exactly.
Because, could Frodo have stayed in the Shire?
Sure.
Yeah.
Would it have been a similar outcome to...
Better question. Could Rand have stayed in the Two Rivers?
I think that was probably a bad idea.
Yeah.
But he could have too. He didn't have to follow Moraine.
Yeah, he kind of did. They knew Trollocs were going to overrun the town.
Yeah, that's true. They did know that.
They left so that the Trollocs would follow them.
Perrin did a great job in book 3 of defending the town from Trollocs. It would have been fine.
Book 4, but yes,
book
you're
4?
right.
Oh, you're right. 3 is when he goes mad.
Yeah. And then they walk it way back.
No, he's fine, guys. Don't worry about it.
He's not fine. He's just not as mad in any of the later books until you hit
10 or 11.
Yeah, I'd say 11.
That, weird lightning call.
You haven't read 11.
No, not yet. And it's also crazy because that's after the thing that happens that we don't talk about because people haven't read after Sidene.
Don't talk about the spoilers, but yes, I know what you're talking about.
It's just funny that in book 11 is when he gets a little crazy.
Yeah, there's explanation.
Oh, good!
Yeah.
I need to restart the series. If you all want to join us for a book club on reading The Wheel of Time, please let us know. We need to give Connor more of an excuse because he really wants to reread this series.
I really do. But the problem is I have a lot of books that I need to read.
Books.
And a lot of them are classic series. We're not talking about Princess Mononoke anymore. If you guys want to leave, feel free.
Yeah.
But if you want to stick around for us talking about books, I think that's going to go on for a little while longer. But yeah, there are so many series that I just haven't read, and I really want to.
Yeah.
Chronicles of Amber, I think, is...
Oh, I've heard of that one.
Yeah, I think that's the name of one of the ones that I want to read. I want to read the Long Sun and the New Sun trilogies. One that's gotten really big this year that, from what I hear, ticks tons of boxes for me is the Sun Eater series.
I've heard of those.
Yeah. Everything that I've heard is this is politics, and it's Dune, and it's Star Wars, and it's Red Rising where they all meet together, and I'm like, yes, that's I love all of those
That
things.
sounds great. Not a problem there.
Yeah. With like strong characters at the center of it, which I love strong characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that I
Want
haven't read
Yeah.
and I want to read. But Wheel of Time was so good that like it's genuinely making me rethink putting off reading other things so that I can
To go
reread it again.
Absolutely. Right now, I only have Jade City, so I think after I finish that, I might go and
Are you going to finish the trilogy?
I might. Is
Maybe.
that a bad plan?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, no, I'm
I
for sure finishing the trilogy then. I started book 2 already.
I mean, I am trying to put off restarting Wheel of Time because I know the moment I do it, I'm going to finish it.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
Not the moment, but I'm going to.
It's a lot of books real fast.
Yeah. The moment I start rereading it is the moment my to be read list just completely alters.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to read the rest of The Expanse next year. So
I love The Expanse.
Yeah.
I think you'll enjoy that.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it quite a bit. So I've only read the first 2 books.
Yeah. You'll like it.
And I want to watch the TV show, which I understand I only have to read the first 6 books to watch the entire TV show.
Oh, it's only the first 6 for the Okay, that makes much more sense. Because I was trying to figure out how they would have fit everything in.
Oh, into 6 seasons?
Into 6 seasons.
Yeah.
With as many books as there are.
What I've heard is like
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, I can see where they stop it then.
Yeah. I haven't read them, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But
very interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway,
what are we watching next week?
We're watching Howl's Moving Castle.
Yeah, the best Miyazaki movie.
Gonna get my space ready.
He says in C tier.
Yeah.
Nah, Howl's Moving Castle is S for super. But you could put it in C for Calcifer, so I guess that makes sense.
The C for Calcifer. All right, so big mystery as to what our rating for the next episode is going to be from idea. Trenton.
No clue.
Definitely nothing's going to be going at the top of his S tier. So tune in next time for surprises.
For so many surprises. You're going to love it.
So, yeah. How do we end this?